for like an hour.
Sometimes you need to do that too.
I just felt my body needed a couple more minutes.
Yeah.
Regretfully, I should have got up originally 2 hours earlier, and then I would be a little more awake, and my face is still in sleep mode.
Yeah. So, guys, we have a great celebration going on today, right?
Yeah, the sun just came.
Yes. Happy anniversary. Like that Flintstone happy anniversary. Nobody remembers.
Happy anniversary.
That's the one.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're talking about this beauty, right?
There it is.
It.
There it
We
Who was
is.
that
the
young
right.
kid on the end there, man? Damn. 40 years ago.
40 years
Wow.
ago.
What the heck?
I can't even
And
think about that right now. 40 years
we even
ago.
got these too, the singles. So
Oh, wow. Yeah.
we're all in. We're all in.
Nice.
And I've been listening all day because, that's an album that never gets old.
Well,
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much. No.
That's what I love about you, Brett. You can go from Brett to Elvis and from Elvis
Well,
to
yeah,
Brett.
it's hard. I just had shows last night, so I'm like,
Oh,
Oh,
still
that's
waking up.
amazing.
it's pretty incredible that he can do that.
Yeah,
That's very
really
impressive.
it
Not
is.
not every rock star can get off his like Steven Tyler with Aerosmith and then go pull off an Elvis show.
Well,
Exactly.
That's
Steven
pretty.
Tyler,
Exactly.
I'm only me, so
yeah, but it's just incredible that you can do
I
that.
do have to say it's a good way to keep my vocal cords in shape. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Always
Singing like the
playing
king.
music is important.
Definitely. Definitely. So if anyone's missed out on this, we're talking to Maxime Petrucci, Chris Dolliver, and Brett Kaiser from Madame X. This is a true honor.
Thank you.
Hello.
So
Hi, everybody.
we're talking about We
Unselfish
Reserve the
plug.
Right. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm going to promote the blog a bit. We have
I
new
don't have
cool.
that
t-shirts.
I don't have that T-shirt. Otherwise, I
I'm
would
going to
have.
send it to you. I'll send
True.
you.
I have this one.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love that the old school rock has become such a great thing today, that they're making musicals, movies. It's really waking up again.
Yay.
Right.
That means
Thank
good
God.
music lasts forever.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
Mm-hmm.
So, the album. Let's talk about the album. From the beginning.
From the
1984. From 1984.
Okay.
What happened? How did it all start?
Well, it started way before 1984. These guys, Maxine and Roxy started this whole thing. And then, I'll let Max start at the beginning. And then when Chris comes in, he can jump in. And then in 1982, I jumped in. So
Well, I think she wants to start at 1984.
you want to start at 1984? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, 1984, we've been
Mhm.
trucking around since 1982. When I joined the band, we went right on the road. I mean, I joined the band and moved to Connecticut, and we started rehearsing right away, and we went out on the road. That was just it. It's like not even, okay, what are we doing? Just go. We went. We played from New York all the way to Arizona, like 2 or 3 times, back and forth, played every joint you could ever think of.
Every night.
Yeah, every night. We do 3, 4 sets a night, 5 on the weekends or whatever it was. I
Some after hour sets too, remember?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah. But I mean, we played every big joint, little joint. I mean, one time we played in the truck that we carried our equipment in was bigger than the club. And the guy came out and looked at the truck and everything. He said, "Yeah, this isn't going to work." So he paid us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we
God.
just hung out at the Holiday Inn Express and just relaxed. But
so we would show up to these anywhere. I mean,
anywhere.
The more popular we got, the more demanding it was. We'd have to play like Houston. The crew would load a semi, 6-man crew, load a semi, and we would have to drive to like El Paso, Texas to be to the next show. But that's a 900-mile run. So nobody had any sleep. And we just did it like night after night after night after night.
And the food was scarce too.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
our meal of the day was whatever they provided for us in the dressing room or Denny's on the road. I mean, Christmas at Denny's in
Oh my God, that was my first
anywhere.
Christmas away. Yeah, my first Christmas away from home was at that Denny's. Remember, I called home to my family, answered the phone, and I was stuck in the phone booth crying my eyes out. I was like, oh my God, what did we do? What did I do? No, but it was really cool. And don't forget though, I mean, we traveled, the 5 of us, in a Camaro. What year Camaro was that, Chris?
It was a 78.
A 78 Camaro, you know, with the hump in the back.
No radio.
No,
Well,
but that's how I wrote songs. I didn't
remember
outside pollution. Like I didn't need to hear something else. You had your little Walkman or whatever it was, but for me to be creative, even today, I never turn the radio on in my vehicle because there's music.
You guys remember being in the Camaro? The guys would be in the truck, we would be in the Camaro, and it was 5 of us. Chris driving. I sat in the middle, almost shared a seat with our sound man, Mike Heffron. And then Roxy and Brett were sitting in the back, and there was no air conditioning, no radio. It was many hours. Mike had really stinky feet, and all the stink from his feet would come up my face and hit you guys in the back. And you guys like, I can't do this anymore.
I know.
So there was a lot of torture from gig to
Mike,
gig.
if you take your shoes off, we're gonna make you walk. But Max, remember this? Because we were so pressed on time to get from one place to the other with zero sleep, I would be driving in the car.
Right.
And it had no
you would sleep.
Go there.
And we're following a semi.
And you would take a nap. You'd take a nap with your foot on the gas pedal, and I was steering.
Yeah, exactly. I would sleep
that's
in
the only way we could
with
fit.
my foot on the gas pedal. And then she would nudge me, wake me up. Hey, we're getting too close. Put the brake on for it. But she would steer, while I'm sleeping in the driver's seat.
that was the only way.
Across America.
Oh my
God! If my dad.
Can I tell one story real quick, you guys? Can I tell one story real quick? Along the same lines, we're in Arizona or New Mexico or someplace out in the middle of nowhere. It's about 3 or 4 a.m. and I'm always panicked about the truck because the trucks are big. It demands a lot, So I'm following the semi, and all of a sudden there's fluid on my windshield, and I turn on my wipers. It's like it's not raining. I roll down the window and I reach out. And I'm like, no, it's not.
I remember that.
Nope, it's not diesel fuel. Like flashing my lights. Finally, I get the truck to stop. Run up to the truck. I said, something's.
Oh my God! Yes.
Truck. And it was the crew had area in the trailer set up so that 3 or 4 of them could go back in the trailer and sleep while the truck is going down the road, and then there was 2 or 3 guys in the cab. And it turns out that a couple of guys in the back of the truck had to pee really bad. So they inched to the back door, to the roll-up door.
Gross.
I thought the truck was leaking like it's an emergency.
You tasted that.
Chris was going like this on the windshield.
True.
Oh my
terrible.
God.
Just terrible.
But I lived.
Yeah, and that's the kind of
coffee.
stuff. Some bands, they get this, chasing their dream and they stumble into it. While you were out doing the stuff, you really toured and grew into
hands-on. It was literally hands-on.
It was
like
so many bands that there's so many bands that just practice in front of the YouTube camera and put a song together and put it out there, but nobody really ever, I mean, not nobody, but you know what I mean? You got to go out there and you got to earn your bones. You know what I mean?
Boy, we were out there.
Road dog.
We were out there honing our craft and just chipping away for, I think it was the first 2 years, back and forth from New York to Arizona, back. We had like maybe 10 or 8 days off each year for Christmas. And the other time we were playing.
One time we had, the other Christmases we were on the, we were on the road, or we would be home for. I remember being home for Christmas, and then we had like the day after Christmas, we had to leave for Louisiana or Texas or something like that.
I think it was Texas.
And the semi it was parked for whatever 3 or 4 days in Michigan in the wintertime. So one of the brake lines, and anybody out there that knows about semis and glad hands and all that, one of the brake lines had frozen on the trailer, and we but we had to go. So we were going through Indiana or someplace a little bit south of Michigan, and there's still snow on the side of the roads and so forth. And the airline unfroze. And then all of a sudden the trailer brakes locked up and we're going down the road at 70 miles an hour and the trailer swings off into the ditch, taking out all these signs like, what, you know? Oh my God.
That was a scary night. That was, yeah.
We were going through the Poconos. We had to go from
oh my God, that was scary.
Upstate New York down to
in the winter,
Lynchburg, Virginia, just before Christmas one year. So it's a terrible, terrible snowstorm. And there's trucks parked on the side of the road. Really, we're going through the Poconos Mountains, and we had to get to the gig. So we're trying to get up the side of the mountain, and the tires on the truck are spinning. Wow, you know, half the truck is off on the side of the road trying to find traction. So we crest this mountain finally. Phew, you know, thinking we finally did it. We're all right. So we start going down the mountain, and we see trucks jackknifed off on the side of the road. It looked like a war zone. And on the one side of the road, on the right side, it's a cliff, right? It just died, you know, there's nothing there. And we're going down the mountain, and the trailer is swinging, you know, it's swinging off to the left, swinging off to the right. And if somehow we ended up zigzagging between all these wrecked trucks and got down to the bottom of the mountain, and the people at the truck stop are going, where the hell did you come from? Well, we just down the. Oh my God! That's what we went through to get to go to, you know, to finally make it to Los Angeles to get a record deal on our second night. We at some point we said to ourselves, you know, we're played all over everywhere, and we were very popular, and we thought, you know what, it's time for us to go get our record deal. Like, we're so silly in believing that we're just entitled to it, right? We're just going to go get our record because we deserve it.
Well, yeah, but don't forget, we put a lot into that point, getting up to that point and saying, yeah, guys, it's time. Let's just go, like you said, let's just go get a record deal, man. Let's go do it.
And we did. And we got to LA. We had 2 weeks of downtime. Our agent booked us, you know, for took 2 weeks off. So we go to LA, and he had some dates lined up for us in LA. When we got to LA, nobody knew who we were. Nobody knew that we were supposed to be there. We'd show up to a club, and they go, who the hell are you? Well, we're supposed to play here. No, you're not.
Yeah. Oh, God.
We took
Madam Wong's West, I think it was, right?
Yeah, we took went to Kinko's, printed up some flyers, and started passing them out. And we beat the streets and talked to we got a gig at the Troubadour, and then we had a Madam Wong's gig. I think Madam Wong's was
Madam Wong's was first.
Yeah, that was on like a Sunday night.
Yeah, that's the place we destroyed with the truck, the fence.
Right, yeah. The truck backed into the wall, knocked the wall.
It turned the wall into a sidewalk. But the whole.
And you know what? I didn't realize one of the guys from Guns N' Roses. Which one was it?
Gilby Clarke.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Gilby Clarke was the sound man.
He told us that Max and I had we owned a nightclub in northern Michigan after when we first retired from the band.
Took a vacation.
Yeah,
right.
What a came to play, and he goes, "You know who I am?" I said, "Yeah, you're Gilby from Guns N' Roses." He goes, "Oh yeah, but I'm also the original. I was also the sound man at Madam Wong's the night you guys played." So at Madam Wong's, we played to, I don't know, 50 people, 30 people, 100. Wasn't a very big audience.
I think it was 8.
Who we were.
More like 8 people, I think.
And, well, whatever it was. And Lucy Forbes,
an
agent,
wonderful human being. I owe her so much.
Wow.
Yeah, but she said, "You guys, oh my God, you have to come to the Rainbow Bar and Grill. Don't bother changing. Everybody's a rocker. You're gonna fit right in." I got my black chaps on with my ass out, codpiece on.
Our hair's up to here.
Yeah, just dripping sweat from the show. So we pile in the Camaro. We follow her to the Rainbow while the crew's packing up the semi. Right. So we walk in, and it's all rockers in their street clothes. And they looked at us like, what the hell? What planet did you guys?
Yeah, what are those things?
We walked in and everybody just went.
Yeah, it was like a movie, like Silence. So then
we were characters.
We certainly were. We were walking past a booth, and there was 3 guys sitting in the booth, and the one guy says, Bob Street, he says, where are you guys from? What do you tell me about your band? So we're Madam X from, Detroit, New York, blah, 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 blah. He goes, well, I'm Bob Street. I work for Jet Records. My manager, do you have anything I can send back to my manager? So I got him a promo pack, the old school manila envelope, 8x10 bio, no demo, because we really had nothing, really recorded at that time. And so the routine was every day we would call the agent to report, we're okay, here's where we are, blah, blah, blah. And I called him the next morning. He goes, he says, do you know who Don Arden is? I said, no. He goes, Ozzy Osbourne, Black Sabbath, Air Supply, Electric Light Orchestra. He's responsible for 180 million albums sold worldwide, and he wants to see you at the Troubadour, because we booked 2 shows. First was Madame Wong's, I think on a Sunday, and then I think it was Troubadour on a Thursday, something like that.
Something like that.
And he says he wants to meet you. So I called Don. We set up a meeting. Brett and I went to meet Don. And he's very cordial and said, I want to see the band. I want to bring the whole Jet office down. So put the whole office on the guest list at the Troubadour. And we did. And we took everything in the semi and again, set it up in the Troubadour. And the Troubadour is world famous for everybody. Everybody has played the Troubadour. Guns N' Roses, everybody. And there was only 30 or 40 people there. There was the Jet office. I think Chris Holmes was there. Just some
Blackie Lawless too, right? Wasn't members of Black?
I think a couple of the couple of the guys from Poison were there too. I think Brett and Ricky were there.
Yeah,
no, I thought
Poison ended up to
they
be
were at our video shoot. I thought.
Yeah, exactly. They were at we reserved the right video shoot, passing out flyers for their Troubadour or their Roxy or something gig. But so we played, and oddly enough, do you guys remember this? We were in El Paso, Texas. Playing just before we went to Los Angeles, and we told there was a hypnotist as our opening act. Do you remember that?
Flip
Orley. God, yeah.
Flip Orley.
What's that?
Yeah, because you were hypnotized.
Orley. His name was Flip Orley.
Yeah, I don't remember. I do. Okay, so
wow.
You have a great memory, but
that's great.
So hey, dude. So we told him we're going, this is our last gig before we go to Los Angeles to get our record deal. And he says, let me hypnotize you guys. So he hypnotized us, and
not me.
No, you fought the.
It didn't work for
force.
Me. He went like this to me, like stand back.
Yeah, so I think he told us like,
okay.
you're gonna go to Los Angeles. You're gonna play like you've never played before. You're going to shine. You're gonna do this, that, and the other thing. And we played for Don and the record company like our ass was on fire, like our life depended on it. And it really did, because we were running out of money really fast.
Right, but we didn't need to be hypnotized to be great either.
No, but we went to Los Angeles with about $2,500, I think, in our road flow. And it's really expensive. It was really expensive back then for us. We were staying in the wrong part of town. We were like in Costa Mesa or something. Our hotel was like $200 a night per room, 2 rooms. So we were eating into our money really fast. And we didn't know that there was less expensive places. We could have got a hotel room for $190.
Well, there was no internet to check it out with.
At that point, having a room was luxury, because sometimes we had to sleep under the truck.
Yeah, we did that a few times.
Yeah.
We had 8 of us in one little itty bitty room, and the air conditioning in those places, besides Chris's own air conditioning, was
air conditioning to you.
So having a hotel room was kind of a luxury, man. Peanut butter. I mean, it was, but we were ready, and we were at that point. We played that show, and go ahead, Chris. Don comes in, and
so Don, we played. I mean, we did our 90-minute show or whatever, and we played, pretty stellar. And we went up to, if you've ever been to the Troubadour, stage left is stairs up to the dressing room. So, we finished our show and went up the stairs to the dressing room, and then we weren't up there for 5 minutes. And then Randy, our road manager / monitor tech, my bass tech, ran up the stairs like he was on. busts in the door. Don Arden's on his way up and he wants to meet you guys. It's like, holy shit. You know, and he walks in. He was a British man, like a bulldog, man. It's so powerful, captivating.
Yeah, bulldog is right.
Yeah, he's like, Adam X, you're my greatest find in the last 5 years, and I want to sign you to my label. Right?
Instead of yes,
my label. We're gonna pick the producer. We're gonna, you know, I'll take care of all the paperwork. I want you to go back on the road and call me every day. Let me know where you're at. And you know, and while we sort this thing out, is something to that effect. And it was like all our Christmases were delivered on the same day. Like, oh my.
Yeah, we couldn't believe it.
I mean, it was like, right. It was shocking. And it
was like euphoric.
And shocking. And the crazy thing is that we were burning through our money, not because we're, you know, being silly with it, but we were just trying to eat. So after the Troubadour gig, we had like $30 in our road flow to get from Los Angeles to Phoenix, Arizona, which was our next show the next night. We were broke. We had zero, nothing. And so we had, you know, we were given like, you know, $1 million in contracts, you know, quote unquote, and had not 2 nickels to rub together. It was crazy. I mean, then we were on the road, you know, as Don said, correct me if I'm wrong, we're playing, and while we call into him every day. And then we showed up in Wichita Falls, Texas to play. And I call in and check in with him. He goes, Madam X, you know, I have flights waiting for you at the airport. We're flying you in to do a movie soundtrack. So don't bother setting up, send your crew on to the next city, right? Cancel the gig, go on to the next city, and they'll wait for you there. So we got on the airplane, showed up to Los Angeles. We were staying at the Hyatt Regency on Sunset, AKA the Riot House, where Rod Stewart, I believe, was the one that threw the TV out the window into the swimming pool. And we lived there for about a month while we were recording for this movie soundtrack. And we went from eating soda crackers and whatever they would provide for us in the dress room as our daily meal to, you know, waking up in the morning to be in the studio at 8 or 9 a.m. You know, but we're having fresh squeezed orange juice on the terrace and you know, beautiful eggs and maitre d's, and dinner was filet mignon every night. And we went from eating soda crackers to, oh my God, this is amazing. You know, limousines, you know, limousine to pick you up, take you to see the.
Oh, remember they took us for that limo ride because we weren't familiar with California, to the Hollywood mountains there.
Yeah, and you know who was at the top there?
Poison.
Yes.
Members of Poison. They go, who are you guys? Because they didn't make it yet. They
were not signed.
They wanted to know who we were.
I went to see Poison at the Troubadour while we were in there. And and they pulled me up on stage and I sang like Train Kept a Rolling or something with them. That was before they even got a deal. That was fun.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, but Brett, after we reserved the right video and they were there. Yeah. Remember you and Roxy went to some party and they were there, and I think Poison at that point, I don't know if they got signed or what. Didn't you sucker punch him for trying to rip you off?
No.
I remember you sucker punched him.
I never sucker punched anybody.
Yeah, you said.
I never sucker punched anybody that didn't deserve it.
Okay, you felt that he deserved it. You said,
no,
you're ripping me off. Yeah, I remember that.
I think what it was when I seen, they always had, from what I understand, is every show Poison did, they always had lots of women at their shows. So they would invite them back to their rooms that they had at the hotel. That was where the party was. And when we got there, I didn't punch him. I punched him in the arm, in the shoulder.
Yeah, sucker punch. That's a sucker punch. Like, dude.
Oh, okay. Because the sucker punch in New York is somebody comes up from nowhere and punches you in the face.
Oh.
I hit Bret Michaels in the shoulder and said, "Hey, man, how you doing?" Like that. And he's like, "Ah." But but that was I couldn't believe all the women at this party. There was no guys. It was just Poison, me, and a couple, maybe his crew members and stuff. But yeah, they were nice guys though. Bret, great guy.
Yeah, they're really nice.
Everybody
nice
we've met, you know, all the rockers, the true rockers. I mean, even when we did the cruises and Sweden Rock, man, everybody, it's like a big family, you know. It's
Yeah.
not like there's no like, oh, who are you? No, go, well, except for a couple people, but
Oh, the
Yes.
movie star treatment thing.
yeah.
Like, don't even look at me.
Yeah, don't look
I'm
at
like
me.
just too good. I'm so good. Right.
There's always
you know,
bad seeds.
so
Yeah, that's no fun.
so we got signed. Go ahead, Chris. You can continue.
He wants to get away from that
We
sucker
keep cutting it off.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
then
it
we
was
had to
like-
do a video. Go.
Well, yeah. So what was happening at the time was, you know, Jet would fly us. You know, it was Jet travel. Like Jet Travel's booking your flights. You were flying first class, not coach, not economy. You know, we're flying first class. Limousines picking us up at the hotel and showing us around town. Dinners at the La Dome. You know, caviar and champagne. Little did we know that was being billed out of our expense
Yeah.
account.
I knew this all along. I was
we were
waiting
being
for you
treated
to
to
say
something
so.
great, and we were the
Gosh.
ones paying for it.
Now, you know
Yeah.
that saying. You know that saying, "Got stars in your eyes." That's when we got signed. We worked so hard to get a record deal that when it happened, that's all we thought about. We're signed. We got a record deal. We're on our way. This. Not, oh yeah, you got to pay for your trip to England. You gotta pay
Right.
for the buses. You got to pay for the cruise. You got to pay for your videos. You got to pay. So the money that we got as an advance, you know, each video cost what, 50 grand at that time?
60. I think high school was 60, right? At the
Something
time.
like, you know, but I mean, we paid for that, you know.
Yeah,
So
of course. Yeah.
we're
We
at
didn't
your
think
hotel.
about that, right?
Yeah, we're staying in Hollywood. Oh, that's great. We're paying for it. We didn't
It's
know.
on us.
We thought, man, these guys in Jet are great, man. They're taking care of everything.
We're so
Because we
dumb.
were young, you know, we were stupid. We were
Yeah.
young. Don Arden was our manager, signed us,
Mhm.
you know, as our manager, the president of the record company, and he got us our attorney. So, you know, we didn't
Dumb.
think, wait a second, is there a conflict of interest here?
Right.
You know, so when it came time to get a royalty check
Mhm.
or whatever, which I still haven't seen.
Never. Not
Never.
once. Ever. We were the
Oh.
I wanted to
biggest
frame my
ripped-off
first
band.
royalty check. Where the hell is it? You know,
I don't know.
but you know
I
what?
will say this: your ASCAP, I'm BMI, and I get mine every quarter.
Yeah, I'm ASCAP and I didn't get none.
Yeah, I do.
But I will say this, I wouldn't change a thing. You know, we had great memories doing things and stuff and a lot of fun. It was a lot of hard work, but would we have done stuff differently if we knew? Yeah, but hindsight's 2020. You never know. I always say that things work out for a reason. They're supposed to do this. You know, if everybody knew exactly what to do when it happened, you know, call a separate lawyer, get this, get the
we
people.
probably wouldn't have done it.
Yeah,
It's like, no, we don't want to do that.
Yeah,
But-
if you really knew what you're gonna have to go through, it's like there's
Yeah.
a big pile of shit. Go step in it. Like,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But you know what? Hindsight 2020. I don't think I would change a thing.
Yeah,
It
no.
was
No.
It was
But
exactly.
I do it at this point of our life, and I think back and I think like, oh my God, I can't believe what we did and what we
Yeah.
went through continuously. And with the semi tractor trailer truck that belonged to us, and all the PA and the
Lights,
biggest
everything.
PA, the biggest lights, and the up to 10-man road crew, and all of us, and what we went through. Nobody does that on their own. We did it on our own.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
I
was,
feel like we all sacrificed to really get to Hollywood and get a deal, and then we were dumb as dirt. We were so
was just-
dirt
no,
dumb.
No, we were just starstruck.
Oh,
We were
Yeah.
starstruck.
yeah, I guess
know?
so. We wanted to be stars. Yeah.
We were looking through it through kaleidoscope eyes, you know, through
Mhm.
those glasses that
I
just
wouldn't
said
change a thing.
fame, you
Right.
know, we're gonna make it. So
But you know what I think is what we've been through and what we've done is bigger than all that Hollywood crap.
Yeah.
What we did is so much bigger than that. And it
When you
doesn't, we
think
didn't
about
get
it-
rich on it or anything, but
Right.
the experience and the fulfillment and what we learned and the team, us as a team, and we're all really young, is you can't beat that. It's not like that
No.
anymore.
And if
Everybody's
you-
just
if you
out for
think about-
themselves.
Yeah, and if you think
Mhm.
about it, there's so many bands out there, so many bands that will never, ever, ever get the chance. I mean, I
Right.
don't want them not to. Go ahead.
No,
go for
no,
it.
it's
You
just,
should.
it's too
But-
much. Yeah.
that, you know, will never even get out of the garage. And stuff. But
And we
let's get
plowed
back-
right through all that.
yeah,
Let's
what
get
we
back to the
did on
record,
our own.
guys. Let's
Huh?
get back to the record. So we
Yeah. Yeah.
we had 30 days to write the record. Then we had 30 days to record the record. And we had High in High School was written prior to the record deal. So was Dirty Girls.
Metal in My Veins.
Metal in My
Metal in My
Veins.
Veins, Cat's Got Your Tongue, right?
Well, we had that B&E, but we never used that.
No, we had other songs, some really good songs that never made it on the record. But Don was picking the record, the songs on the record, and directing us. Write cute, write this.
Cute.
You know, we give him a song and go, it's not cute
It's
enough.
not cute enough.
Make it cute. So, you know, we went from eating nothing to eating like kings. And whatever Don said, I was happy to do because he was it's like, boss, whatever you
want. But we were paying for it.
You want, you
right.
want cutesy shit, you got it.
Yeah.
So that's you know, that's kind of how the record went. And Rick Derringer came in. I was a big fan of Rick. He was
Rock and roll hoochie coo.
I'm a hack guitarist, but to entertain myself, I play hack guitar. But
you're a very Boney Maroney guitar player.
Yeah, you know, but I like Johnny Winter and Rick Derringer. I love that style.
I call it Boney Maroney.
Style of guitar
Slash is kind of a Boney Maroney.
Yeah,
he's great, but he's very Boney Maroney. Yeah.
Yeah, and for those of you that don't know, Boney Maroney is a song. Rick Derringer did it. Johnny Winter did it.
Named Boney Maroney.
That's the one. So Rick came in. That was good. Rick came in and we met Rick and he was.
And don't forget George Tucko was our engineer.
Yeah, he was fabulous.
Who's that? Tucko?
George Tucko.
Was our engineer.
Tucko was our engineer on the record, and Rick was producing, but George had just came back from England recording oh God, what is the name of that band? Duran Duran, right?
Right.
Yeah, he was the engineer rather for Duran Duran, and then he came and started our sessions. And as I remember, we were adjusting our schedule so that he could be, so we could make, you know, it was just like a week or a few days that George had just come in or was coming in. We had to postpone everything, waiting for him. We were recording at Cherokee Studios in Los Angeles, which is
basically
a studio where everybody, what's that?
Yeah.
We basically lived there.
Yeah, Dokken was recording there at the time too. Remember
Dokken? Yeah, crew.
And Carmen Apiece came and visited us too. Remember?
Yep, Carmine. Robin Zander from Cheap Trick.
My God, yeah.
Yeah,
everybody came.
We're recording. We reserved the right, and there's Robin Zander sitting in the control room with us, you know, chatting with Rick, and I don't know. I don't remember what song it was. I think it might have been High in High School or We Reserve the Right to Rock. But the two guitarists from Aerosmith back then, it was
it was Jimmy Crespo and
Rick Dufay.
Rick Dufay, yeah.
Yeah. So they were friends of Rick's, and they came in this studio as we're doing our session, and we're doing background vocals. So they chimed in on the back, the Scanlon vocals, you know. But so they were helping us fill in the blanks with the, you know, we reserve the right to rock, you know, or whatever it was, High in High School, whatever it was. I really don't remember what song it was, but we had extra help from those guys. It was kind of fun, and it was, you know. And then after that, we went to Magic Mountain. There was
with Rick Derringer
in Los Angeles with those guys and Rick.
Yeah, you know what I remember in the studio while we were recording? Rick was the producer, of course. I think I was doing the max volume solo. And he looks down at me and he goes, he just with a look on his face, he goes, E.T., go home. I'm like, what? He goes, E.T., go home. And I'm like, what does that mean? He goes, your fingers are all the same size. You have E.T. fingers. They're like all about the same size.
They're like E.T.
Yeah, and he said the look on his face, E.T., go home. And then so I decided to take it as a compliment.
I'm sure it was meant as a compliment.
If it works.
What's that?
I said, I'm sure it was meant as a compliment.
Of course.
Oh, the look on his face was like, you're not normal. You're an alien. E.T. go home.
But
It was
did you
fun.
all, while you were in the studio, did you all feel like you could work well together? I mean, you'd be playing together for so long before, but the studio is really a new experience.
It
How
was
did you
Plus,
feel
it was
about
new.
Besides
But I
the
did all
rub,
my guitar parts outside of everybody. We did all the guitars in 3 days. My guitars.
yeah,
Brett, your vocals were how many days? Your lead
Well,
vocals.
couple of the songs were first takes. You know, they just said, "Oh,
Yeah.
that's pretty." And I
Yeah.
also, you know, I did a second vocal or third vocal, and they put them all
Oh,
together
yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
But you know what it is? It was like we've done the songs. We did our job. You know what I mean? And we had
Mhm.
30 days to do their job.
Right.
So we did our part, and then Rick and George did theirs, and it all came together. But
Mhm.
it was kind of, you know, it was rushed. You got 30 days to
It sure
record
is.
a record,
right.
you
And then
know.
30
And it's
days
the first
before.
time we have ever recorded a record. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had never been in the studio. I never had. Well, I did.
I haven't.
Take that back. But we were never in the studio as a group, as a band.
Right.
So we were learning, you know, at the direction of Rick and George and the second engineer. I don't remember his name, but everybody was really helpful and not pretentious and not, you know, everybody was
They're
just eager to
professional.
help and get the damn
Yeah.
thing done.
Mhm.
You
I
know?
remember when Carmine came to the studio and
Mhm.
Roxy did a fill, and Carmine goes, "Yeah, I invented that fill. I showed John Bonham how to do that fill. You remember that?"
Yeah,
That's great.
and he might have.
I made that up.
Mhm.
Okay, Carmine.
And he might have. At the studio, we were recording. We reserved the right, and we were in the A room, and I think Dockin was in the B room.
Yep.
Mhm.
I think they were mixing Tooth and Nail, as I remember. Does that
I
sound
Yeah, it
don't
was
remember.
Michael Wagner was there.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
No, it was Roy Thomas Baker, I believe.
No, Michael Wagner.
Well,
And-
maybe.
yeah, 'cause I talked to him on the cruise, and he said, "Yeah, I was there at Cherokee when you guys were recording your first record."
Oh, wow. That's so
Yeah.
cool.
He was
Yeah.
a young kid. No, remember, he was
He's
a young,
incredible.
you know.
Yeah, there was a green
Yeah, I
room.
remember Dockin came in, and I think we did in the studio they were using. We were doing the clap. Remember the buckets of water, and we clapped.
Yeah, hand claps. What the bucket of water, you wet your hands, and then everybody
Yeah.
stands around the microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if it was Reserve the Right or what song it was, but it was fun. I mean, we did a lot,
Mhm.
and what an experience, you know. And we
Mhm.
ate every day at Genghis Cohen,
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I don't remember that.
Chinese Jewish food,
Oh, I don't remember that.
across the street, Genghis Cohen. Remember the sake?
Like you mean the carry out, right? It's carry out into the
Yeah, we
studio?
did that. Well, we ate over there, or they brought it over. I think the record was made on that. Well,
I didn't pay
that-
attention to that.
marijuana, but you know.
Can I tell you guys? Can I tell
Mhm.
share a funny story?
Yeah.
So, there's a female voice on Dirty
Oh, yeah.
Girls,
Dirty Girls.
and the phone
Oh,
rings,
yeah.
and this female voice says, "Brett, can you come out and play?" or something like that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that was a girl, a young
Vicky?
girl, Vicky Frontieri.
Vicky
Mhm.
Frontier,
Yes,
daughter of Georgia Frontier
who owned the Los Angeles Rams.
at the time.
And
yeah.
her father was the creator of the Outer Limits audio for the
Right.
original Outer Limits television show.
Yeah.
You know, you will not. We
touch
sharpen
that,
the
don't
clarity.
touch the volume.
Yeah, we
We
control.
have
blah, blah, blah.
control. of your team. Yeah, that
Super
was fun.
spooky, but he was also.
Yeah, wasn't that a Henry Mancini thing? Where'd that come in? Wasn't there a Henry Mancini
Well,
something or
let me
other?
share my story real quick, you guys.
Okay.
So our crew, we had our crew, a couple of guys were assisting us in the studio, runners and techs and things like that. And they would also run and get food and whatever we needed, you know, in the studio. And Vicky was seeing or hanging out with George Tutko. You know,
Right.
they were kind of pals in multiple ways. And I don't even know where I'm going with this. But so she's
Yeah.
like,
Get
she's like
there.
to our crew guy, said, "Hey, can I get a cigarette from you?" And I think it was Mike goes, your mother owns the Los Angeles Rams, and you're bumming a cigarette.
Awesome.
Like, who the fuck do you think you?
Oops.
That's great. I didn't
You
know
beat
that
that
one.
out? No,
We
I'm
can
just
buy
kidding.
the city.
Yeah, the
That's
Mickey
great.
Frontier. That's in
Wow.
the middle of Dirty Girls when the phone
Right.
rings. And I pick it up, and it actually was a real recording of the phone. When I picked it up, it goes, "Hello," and she goes, "Hello, Brad. Can
Yeah,
you
it's
come
funny
out and
stuff.
play?" Not
Oh.
again. You know.
Yeah. That's
But I use
great.
that as a trivia question. If somebody for shows, well, I'll say, did anybody know who the girl was who said in Dirty Girls and
Right.
stuff like that? So that's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
But
Mhm.
talking about the songs, then, I mean, you'd been writing for so long before this album. How could you pick and choose from those songs? I mean, they must have all felt like your babies. How do you choose what baby to have on
Well,
the
you don't. You
record?
just keep your mouth shut and let Don go, yeah, we'll take
That's
that song,
exactly
that
it.
song, that song. See, that was
Mhm.
part of that what Chris was talking about is Don had
Mhm.
total control over this record. We did. We would have put heavier songs on it if we want, because you know what? We were a heavy band.
We were Judas Priest like,
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
as
And
far as
Don
heaviness
picked
goes.
Don picked the
Mhm.
cute songs, like
Mhm.
Chris said, it's not
It's
cute
not
enough.
cute enough.
I'll
Mhm.
need cuter songs.
Do you know what I
Right.
mean by cute? Remember, with this English accent?
yeah.
Yeah,
And
but
we're
if you
like,
look up
ew.
cute, yeah, if you look up cute in the dictionary, it's short, fat, and whatever. But anyway,
uh, yeah,
but
but
yeah,
also
Don
at the
picked it.
time, remember, we figured let's just do what he says, and then
Yeah,
we'll do
exactly.
what we want on the next record. Let's just get in there.
Yeah.
So
I
that
mean,
was our mindset.
we're eating good,
Yeah.
we're living good and everything. And then,
Yeah.
after everything was done and we got the bill, we were like, what do you mean we paid for this stuff, man?
Yeah.
Just kidding.
It was a
Yeah.
step in our lives. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Definitely.
Mhm.
So-
'Cause
Yeah, so-
and we have songs that actually on our new record that's coming out
Oh yeah.
that we
Mhm.
wrote way back then. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
I
Be
just
a
got
couple of
chills.
good surprises. Yeah.
Ooh, the
Coming
chills I've got
soon.
right now is like
And it really,
I
and they were
need that in my
written
life.
in the 80s. They were written in the 80s. They truly are what they are.
yeah,
It's
So,
it's
yeah.
true classic
shockingly,
Madam X.
they're
Mhm.
shockingly great, and
Yes.
with the help of Chris
Chris
Laney,
Laney
our
Yeah.
producer, and Henrik
and
Halverson,
Henrik, yeah.
Yeah.
guiding the whole project. It's really like incredibly. It'll be eye-opening.
It's nice to have good people like them too.
Yeah.
They're great people.
Oh, we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Mhm.
Let's go back to the record.
Let's go back to
Okay.
1985.
40th anniversary. So the
Okay.
record's done. We get signed. Record's done. They take us and they send us to England.
Oh yeah.
Across the
ECT
pond.
show.
Well, let's backtrack.
Oh no.
Oh, we did the
So-
video first, right? Before we
Yeah,
went?
yeah.
Yeah.
So we did
Two videos.
we did 2 videos. We reserved the right, and those are
High in
both
high school.
yeah, in high school, and they were done about what
A month
couple
apart.
months apart,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Because I
And
think
they
he
were
did a 2-for-1 deal. You know what I mean?
two
Mhm.
20-hour
videos.
days to
Yeah.
film.
But
Um,
remember, we reserved the right.
At
And then when we saw
Ladome.
the footage, he was angry because they didn't get our bodies, most of our bodies in it. And they said, these guys have bodies. It's pretty much waist up. All the hands in front of the stage, remember, covering us up? So
Yeah,
Don said no to that.
But as I remember, there was MTV guidelines that if you did show too much or did something, you would not
Oh, yeah.
be accepted in their format. So and it was all new at that time.
Yeah. It was
MTV
new.
was not. It
Well,
was
anyway.
it was new.
Yeah.
Fairly new.
The guy
anyhow.
who did the videos,
Mhm.
did the Quiet Riot videos, and I forget his name. Mark, no,
Hmm.
jeez, whatever.
I
his
don't
name
remember the
is.
first
Anyway,
guy's name.
He did both videos. The
So
first
No,
one.
the second guy was a different guy.
yeah, there was 2 different directors.
Mhm.
and
So the
producers.
first guy did the Quiet Riot videos. We reserved the
But,
right.
Yeah.
So on the first video, they build a big stage set, and and it's oh man, it was pretty complex. We filmed some of it at the Ladome restaurant, which is a
Rod
5-star.
Stewart. Yeah, he owns
Hey,
that restaurant.
Hey, you guys, remember Ladome? That was the rich movie star restaurant. Remember, because of all the lighting, and we got to have the restaurant to film. So we saw how really dirty it was. We go, oh God, it's dirty. Everybody's eating rich like, and it was dirty in there.
Well,
Do you remember that?
I don't
dirty.
remember that, but I do remember.
I do.
Here's something.
Girls remember things like that.
In that video, you remember the maitre d', the guy who grabs you, Chris, and stuff, you know, points to the sign?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That actor actually went on to be in a couple of Steven Seagal movies.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Mark to Kill. He's the bad guy in that stuff.
Oh,
So
good for
some
him.
people really, you know, got their story.
Yeah. Everybody gets a start. Nice.
There was some pyro in the We Reserve the Right video.
Oh, yeah.
Off of Roxy's symbol. And so she, you know, we're going through the, if for those of you that don't know how it goes, we were filming with 16 millimeter film. It was not a video. They call it video, but it was filmed with film. And so you go through the song, I don't know,
50 times.
That's
probably, God, yeah.
That's probably not an exaggeration. Probably more than 50 times. But there's, you know, there's trolley shots, and then there's the handhelds on each individual person, and then there's the overhead, and then there's the, you know, there's just, you just keep going through the song. So the pyro is on her cymbal, and she hits the cymbal with her stick, and the pyro blows off, and a flaming chunk hits her on her hair with her hairspray, and she's got, her head is on, Roxy's head is on fire during the video shoot. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And that happened before Michael Jackson lit his head on fire.
Yeah. Right. It did too. Lit his on fire.
She started it. That was the trend.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it was a trend or not, but it was definitely a hazard that.
Oh yeah. That was a scary. That was a scary thing.
Yeah, and that and a lot of smoke cookies.
Well, and then Don said no to that video, and then we went on to Hine High School, and I think it was December of '84.
That was another experience. We put out a casting call for little people. That's the correct, politically correct, I think it's called, little people now. At the time they were midgets. Now they're little people, whatever. Dwarfs. We had about 50, right? About 50 little people show up with their resumes.
Follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road.
And then we picked the guy that was in Star Wars. He was an Ewok in Star Wars, because Star Wars was big at the time when we were doing this video. So, we got to get him. You know, he was in Star Wars. But so like we said, you do the shoots are like 50 times you do each song.
Yeah.
Well, at the end of the video in your high school, I have to catch this guy. He runs around and then jumps up into my arms. And that's the heaviest little person I ever I mean, he must have been at least 150, 200 pounds. So like the fourth or fifth time we did it, I dropped him because, dude, I need to take a break, man. This guy's like solid weight jumping up.
It's just dead weight.
30 pounds.
It's dead weight. Like, it's just dead weight.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a great video, man. It was
that was fun. I love doing that video.
I actually remember when I saw it the first time. I've got 3 older brothers, and they loved MTV and kind of like guided me into it.
Cool.
And that video was like, you know, the American funny horror related heavy metal video for a small kid, you know. And I mean, I think all of Sweden and Europe reacted the same way, that this is fun and it's a bit scary and it's a really cool song. So
yeah, especially when Max pulls his ear and it goes.
I remember he said I only had one chance to do it, so thank God it worked.
Yeah, and to this day I still can't see. There was a tech that was holding the back of his head or something, this apparatus on the
done so
guy's
well.
ear, and I cannot see anything other than what appears that I'm seeing. I look at it, I go, how in the hell did they do that? There was a guy,
this is
in the shot, but you can't see him. What's that?
Right.
I remember that was the 80s. Now they just use like computer graphics and stuff.
Right. The green screen. Everything's green screen.
Yeah, there's Right.
Like
No
you have
AI.
two hands when you're playing lead guitar. Anyway, that's another
Well,
story.
when we did the Monstrosity video, it
That's
wasn't
what I'm
green
talking
screen.
about. Where you had the
We
two
did-
hands.
What?
When you had the two hands doing the lead thing.
Oh, that was Roxy behind me.
Yeah, I
We're
know,
both,
but
yeah, she was, yeah.
I'm
Everything
crazy.
was real. We did it the real way. Remember, Chris built the set, Monstrosity
Oh my
set.
God, yeah. We also
That was
had
like,
almost
what?
had we almost had
Like,
a fire
what?
fire thing in that one too.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Well, let's get back to 1984
yeah.
Okay, let's
in
go
the
back.
Wayback Machine.
Way back.
Wait, how
Right,
much
the way
time do
back.
we have, you guys? So let's just get to the point.
40 years ago.
40
Wow,
years ago.
time flies when you're having fun. It
Yeah.
doesn't feel like 40 years to me. I'll tell you a quick thing. The outfit that I wore on the album cover, that leather outfit, was also my stage outfit that I would.
Yeah, we remember.
That's what they
Yeah.
airbrushed my my pubic hair off. They airbrushed one of my arms off, and they
Yeah.
airbrushed the volume of my hair.
A lot of the
Listen,
hair.
They took
if we
the
were to do
volume out of my hair
If
too.
we
Our
were to
hair
do
was,
this 40 years ago, I would have had my hair up like this. You know, it would have been everywhere.
wait, that album cover, our hair was so crazy. And they went in and airbrushed it out where it looks kind of like plucked chicken.
Yeah,
You
it was.
know?
Yeah,
I don't know why they
Don-
did that.
Don
Why
said, "Oh,
couldn't it
this
have
is-
been true?
This is shocking, and it's you know.
They didn't need to airbrush that.
No, I
No,
mean,
we hated that album cover. That was.
It
that
doesn't
was
What they
matter
did to
because
it.
That was
as soon
a
as
photo
our
shoot.
record hit, as soon as our record hit and the videos hit, that's when Tipper Gore and all those
Oh yeah, they held it
Senate
up.
wives came out with the PMRC kind of thing. And
Right.
ours.
Mhm.
Sorry, guys.
so
Yeah, but I lost my train of thought. We oh shoot. Yeah, the PMRC, we went from new ad on MTV to light rotation,
Yeah.
medium rotation fairly quickly. And then as we started to grab traction here in the States, I think we were on 180 AOR stations, album-oriented rock stations across America at that time. And then the PMRC came out, which was parental something or another, fuck all the rock guys, company or organization.
See you next Tuesday.
Tipper Gore held our album up on TV and said, "You will not buy albums from artists like this, you know, because there's scantily clad women and there's controversial lyrics and so
Sexual
forth."
content.
Yeah, Cat's got your tongue. One of the lyrics is F is for fighting, C is for chew, K is a knuckles, all I need is a U, which after you see K,
We all know that is.
yeah.
right. So they had a problem with that, the dirty girls and all that. And so when the PMRC came out, they started to AOR stations started to switch their format to CHR stations, current hit radio, and MTV also followed format, doing more, not Culture Club, but Thompson Twins and artists like that. And
Alternative.
we were a new band on the scene that suffered. Rat, Motley Crue, the bands that were already Twisted Sister, that were Quiet Riot, that were pre-established, didn't suffer. There was a dip in the industry, and as you already know, I'll tell you if you don't, that an album has a finite number of days, weeks, months that the record company will keep, consider it relevant and push it and focus on that. And after it exceeds that time limit, they move on to the next artist that they sign because it's their time. So PMRC came out just as we started to get traction, which changed the dynamic in America, radio and MTV. And they started to push a different genre. And then Poison came in after that, and Cinderella and artists like that, on the rebound. And so they weren't really affected by it because they came in after the effect, and we came in just before the effect. But in Europe, PMRC didn't really hinder us. So I think we went to like number 7 in England, the single, in the UK. And we
remember we did the ECT show too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did well in other territories, other parts of the world, but suffered in our own country, in America, because of this PMRC thing. Now, somebody asked me on an interview not so long ago, what's the largest audience you've ever played for? And I was thinking, and then it dawned on me that live, that would have been the ECT show, which was extra celestial transmission. It stood for. It was live broadcast in the BBC on the BBC. And it was, you know, when they went 3, 2, 1 and pointed at you, it was live. There was no tape delay. It was live. If I fell down on stage, shit my pants, and threw up, there was no redo. It was
live.
To 17 million households. So there was 4 channels on in the UK at the time, and we were on, I think it was channel 4, prime time.
Channel 4, right?
There was Motorhead, Lords of the New Church, Magnum, and Madam X. And I think Motorhead played 3 songs, Magnum played 2, Lords of the New Church played 2, and we played 3 or 4 songs. We were closing the show, not because we were the headliner, but in America, the headliner usually closes. We closed the show because it was live. They had this, in this gigantic sound stage. It was decorated, or the set dressing was like the inside of a spaceship with the cameras looking like alien, you know, gear with the techs in jumpsuits, and it all looked like a foreign, like an alien planet. The cast, the people that were there were like people, just kids from the UK, but they came in looking like Road Warrior with makeup on, leather jackets and spikes, and it was very, you know, extreme. And they did Motorhead first, and then they would swing the cameras around to the next stage. On commercial break, you had 3 minutes to get all this gear from one stage to the next stage set up, and then 3, 2, 1 live, and then the next over to the next stage. And if something broke along the way from Motorhead to our show, it didn't matter because we're the baby band. Who cares? But we were doing our rehearsals a couple days in this big studio. You know, prior to, you know, going through the motions, they would swing the cameras around everybody. Motorhead would play, then, you know, and then us. And all the backdrops are up, and you could see, you know, one stage to the other stage. And then we're up in our dressing room, showtime, like 20 minutes till showtime, 15 minutes, Madam X to your stage. Like, okay, we go down the stairs.
Nobody came to get us.
What the hell?
We were in a Spinal Tap hotel, it felt like.
Yes,
at the
how do we get to
upstairs.
our stage? We're like hitting backdrops, like, boom. We don't know how to get to our stage. Where's our stage? You know,
You got this guy comes. Well, see, what you do is you go down to the left and you make a right. And you go
There was too many lefts and rights. No, you know what we did? We said, let's follow the sound. Yeah, remember, we could hear the sound.
I had to follow you guys because I can't follow sound. So.
Oh well, and then we got onto the Motorhead stage somehow. We didn't know. Remember, we did the curtains. We're like, where are we? And they knew we were lost because they saw our heads while Motorhead was playing.
Lemmy, though, I will say this: Lemmy was always super cool to Madam X. We would go to the Rainbow Bar and Grill. And Lemmy would be in a booth sitting by himself. Madam X, come on, you know, sit with him. He was treated us like almost like a father figure. He was really, you know, really honest and caring and offering good advice, and, you know, how to deal with the industry and music and so forth. And likewise, so was Rob Halford, you know, from Judas Priest.
Yes. Rob Halford was great.
You know, a guy that would just offer advice and, you know, a handshake and
radio stuff for us. He did some radio.
Yeah, this is Rob Halford, the Beast from Judas Priest.
From the Priest.
This is Madam X. You know, he did this
Actually, yeah. You know, Rob has Thanksgiving here in Arizona sometimes. He used to. I went over for Thanksgiving once, and he's such a great guy. And was back home in New York on Long Island. I went to see Judas Priest in Nassau Coliseum, and I'm in the back, and he was like checking out sound check, you know, and I'm like, shh. And you go, Rob, what are you doing up there? Come down. It was like, what a guy, man. He was a great guy. Great guy.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, I have one last question before we let the audience ask some questions for you.
Great.
If we're just putting everything together now, 40 years later, how do you feel about this album? What does it mean to you? I mean, it's the debut. It's what made you known all over the world.
Well, I mean, it's something that I'm very proud of. You know, I mean, like I said earlier, a lot of people will never ever get the chance to live the way we did, do what we've done. you know, and then of course there's people that just went far beyond the thing, but that's what it's supposed to be. So for me, I am so proud of Madam X, you know, and being part of it and stuff, and being the
I'm just-
original.
Brett,
Mhm.
Brett,
Oh, all
Talking about-
original, right?
Brett, give us one of your signature screams.
Oh, hey,
still got
Pauline, do you have this?
Oh yeah,
I can tell you that my partner actually has it.
the single.
It's
Mhm.
back here.
Yeah,
It's
that's
so
cool.
cool. It took us some time to find it though. We've been searching for a long time, but it finally
Wow.
came. So
What the hell is that?
What?
Sorry.
Brett, give us one of your screams.
One of my
In the morning for
screams.
him?
Yeah.
It's Chris. I had 2 shows this weekend. Hold on. So anyway, the scream builds up. When I do a show or something, before I go on, I go, scream. And if it comes out, it's going to be a good show.
I heard, I
If
heard
it
nothing.
doesn't,
I
I'm
heard
gonna talk
nothing.
a lot.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk a lot on the microphone.
Brett.
And that's scratchy because I played this weekend. So I'm,
Brett,
Yeah.
I heard nothing. I
What?
heard not. There was nothing. You blanked out the audio on your computer. You hit it so hot.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah.
I thought he
You
faked
didn't hear it?
No.
No, not at
No,
all.
it's nothing.
You might have
Dude,
to stand back.
no.
waiting.
No.
Hello.
Did it
Wow.
still back out?
Nothing.
No.
You didn't hear it?
Nothing.
Well, there's a compressor on the thing then. I can't
Yeah.
help
Yeah.
There-
Well,
he
Scream
would have
my-
blown it out.
you just
it.
have to
Scream
see
my
us
balls
live.
off, man.
Oh my God.
Definitely.
They're still there. Yeah, they're still there, man. Anyway.
For all
Yeah,
of
I'm
you who
sorry.
didn't see Madam X on Sweden Rock the last time, I can tell you that the scream is there. There's nothing
yeah.
wrong with the scream.
I
It's
can't believe
it's
it didn't
still
come
there.
out. I'm very upset.
That's pretty
Hold on.
law breaking. Let's see if it works.
You hear that?
Watch
Yeah.
the glass.
Okay.
It didn't work.
I didn't hear it.
I
At
don't get
all.
it. Maybe it's
I
the
don't get it.
frequency. Maybe
It
it's the
must be a frequency.
Yeah.
My dog was barking.
She is actually. She's upstairs.
He heard it.
barking. My
Yeah.
dog.
Cute.
For me, the record is, you know, I don't, again, I wouldn't change anything about it. The girls that we, even though we hated the album cover, that was a photo shoot that was done in Houston, Texas. We hated it. We just didn't like the way we looked. We refused the photo shoot, and the photographer, and God bless him.
Yeah.
Uh,
Selfish photographer wanted
well,
some money.
Doesn't matter. He
Yeah.
he heard that we got a record deal, and he sent the proofs to Jet, and Jet loved the record. And
Ew.
Don said to us, called a meeting and said, you know, we have the record, the artwork for the record for the record cover, and he pulled it out and showed us, and Maxine and
like,
Roxy
ew.
like collapsed to the ground in the
Like,
office,
no,
like screaming, beating their fist on the floor, like, no, it can't be. No,
You're not
no,
doing-
no.
he goes, why don't you like it? You guys look even younger than what you are.
Can I
He
say
was
one
all
thing?
about youth.
Speaking of Sweden Rock in 2018,
Mhm.
that outfit that I have on the cover there, the chaps and the shirt and the the leather vest,
I couldn't believe that still fit you.
I wore that on stage in 2018.
And we
same
know
exact
because we
same
knew when you were
outfit.
coming in the room 10 minutes before you got there.
I know, right?
Must be
It's
wearing
like
that original
My
leather.
wardrobe's shrunk. It's like, holy
Oh
shit.
gosh. But anyway,
But
we look forward.
Godzilla has always had an air about him.
Yeah.
You guys were running out of time. Let's talk
Oh,
about the new
okay.
record. How about the new album?
Yeah. Tell us.
Go ahead,
Well,
Chris.
it's amazing. It's amazing. If you love the 80s, you won't be disappointed. Any new listener that hears this, it's kind of it's a new fresh sound, but there's a lot of our old sound involved in the mix. I mean, it's so, when I hear, you know, we'll record a song or demo a song, we send it off to Chris Laney.
Mhm.
He's in Sweden, Swedish lad, amazing. And it comes back to us, and I get the same feeling when I hear our music back from him him putting his spin on it, I'm like,
Yeah.
I get the same feeling that I did when I first heard Pyromania, for, Def Leppard, or Mutt Lange's work, AC/DC, these transits, the way things balance and they fit, and the dynamic audio impact of this this music shoved back in my face is like, holy shit, I get goosebumps. Like, I can't believe that's us.
I know when I do listen to what we've recorded, I just say, wow, there's a lot of talent there. Still,
wow, it's shocking.
It's still
awesome.
Still at a high level. It makes me very proud.
But
that
we
we
love
can still do
the
that.
old record. I love it for multiple reasons. I love playing with my band, and it was a great time for the world.
Yeah.
And a lot of fun music in the 80s from a lot of different artists. And I wouldn't change it if I could.
I love that we keep growing.
Yeah.
Musically, so everything. It's nice to be able to do that again. But what did you say, Brett?
I said the fact that we were able to come back together after that little hiatus and go and play Sweden rock, and realize we just can't.
Yeah, we love our Swedes.
Yeah, we can't not do this,
We'll be right back.
So that's why we put Monstrosity together, and now this record, which is gonna just be a phenomenal thing. I think people are gonna just lose their minds over it.
Yeah, we just have to get it done.
So, and with the new record, we've got some really also talented people, not only Henrik and Chris Laney, but a young lady by the name of Maggie Van Hoosen. Van Hoosen, I believe is her name. Correct pronunciation, maybe.
Oh,
I don't
Maggie.
know. But she's a talented artist.
Yeah, she's a great artist.
A comic book, a little comic
book.
And so we are immortalized as comic book characters.
Right.
Correct.
I've seen those.
She's taken 6 of our Madam X Road stories and spinning them into a comic book with 6 different I just said Sif.
Remember that?
With 6 hello, Sif. With 6 different stories based on actual Madam X road stories, which are super over the top, and I don't want to spill too much. But look for a comic book in the future with real true stories with Madam X in a cartoon character done by Maggie using AI. And I don't mean artificial intelligence, no, because this far supersedes AI, artificial intelligence. This is artistic.
Yeah, she's very talented.
Interpretation.
She's basically, she's very young and talented.
She's actually in the live chat right now.
Oh really?
Hey, Maggie.
Hi, Maggie.
Hello, Maggie.
Hey, let's go to the live people.
Yeah.
So it's funny how you talked about Monstrosity, because we actually got a question from a guy called Dirk Schneider, who was asking if you had any of the old songs on the Monstrosity album.
We did High in High School.
Yeah, you just redid High in High School.
Yeah.
I think that's the only one that was an old,
Yeah.
Everything on Monstrosity was written for that record, with the exception of High in High School.
High in High School, yes.
Visited that.
Yeah.
Probably didn't really need to do that, but it was fun.
Of course.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good question.
Yeah.
So we have another question from Matthias Petre, who wonders why the name Madam X.
Oh,
that was before.
Really want me to share this? Shall I?
What do you mean?
Yeah, I wasn't.
I will. I'll tell you that even
make it short.
I will, but Wikipedia
summarize.
Wikipedia even has it wrong. But I'll tell you the real deal. That Madam X, we were Maxine and I and Roxy had a different singer at the time, and we had a different name at the time. And then Roxy decided that she wanted to go play jazz fusion with her brother.
Oh my God, you're going that far.
Yes. Well, I'm just going to lay it out like it is.
Okay.
And so Roxy wanted to play jazz fusion. So I had this idea. I go, we need a name that speaks of one woman and, in a powerful, mysterious way. So I came up with Madam X because there was only one Madam, and that was Maxine. And we went out with two different players, a different drummer and a different singer. And as we became more popular, Roxy
Came back.
saved the limelight that she was missing by playing in
Mhm.
the jazz fusion thing, which was we would go see her, and she was the band was great, but it's still
Outrageous,
rock and
yeah.
roll. And so she missed playing with Maxine and came back to the band, and then we continued Madam X with two women, two madams,
Mhm.
and I ended up to be the X or triple X, however you want to look at it.
That's
And
So we
then
worked our way to New York.
yeah, then we found we had a different singer. We were playing in Long Island, and Brett's band was an opening act of ours. And
Mhm.
this kid went on stage, and we're like, "Oh
Our
my
jaws dropped.
God, this
Mhm.
is what we've been missing." Not to
We
say
knew
that
he-
the other guy was not great. He was great,
Yeah,
but Brett
Yeah.
had a different element that we
he
felt
was our guy.
we needed, right, as
Mhm.
to fill in that piece. You know, we went from one kind of band to another kind of band like that with Brett's assistance. And the other guy was great too, but Brett was great in a different way, a way that fit us more than the other
Yeah.
version.
The guy was great. You talking about
And,
Jamie?
Yeah.
you know, that ingredient.
He was kind of a Robert Plantish type
Okay,
vibe.
dude, let me tell you something. Being from New York, I seen you guys play. You guys were outrageous. You really were. But your singer sucked. Sorry.
Of course. Yeah.
That's why I was like, you know,
I
hey,
could fix this. Yeah, I could fix
guys,
this.
you
Right.
ever need a real singer, give me a call.
Yeah.
So I get a call, like, what was it, 2 months? Maybe
Brett puts the
Two-
cock
what?
in cocky.
It felt like it was a day later.
Yeah. And I
It
said,
was,
sure. What? You got a house in Darien? Sure, I'll be right there.
yeah. We were
They sent
staying.
the semi down.
Our
took all my
manager,
shit.
rented a big house, a mansion for us in Norwalk, Connecticut.
Yeah, next to a
Darien,
cemetery.
Connecticut. On the top of
All
a
right, we're
hill.
getting right, but let's go on to the
We're getting
more.
off track.
Too
Let's
much
talk to the
detail.
people.
Yeah, people.
So we have
People.
another question. Anthony wonders if there's a change in philosophy from the first time you guys played together and now when you're back together.
Changes
Philosophy as far as what goes. What does
As
that
a
mean?
band. In
You
the
mean
band.
have we changed as individuals?
Yeah,
that
I
what he
think
means?
that's something like that.
Well, I think we kind of grew up.
I have
Like
not.
way grew up. But we're still the same people. We just have to like
You mean
you know,
our
reserve
philosophy
ourselves.
on the music?
Mhm.
You know, we just it's us. You know what I mean? I mean, Maxine's guitar playing is Maxine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
just
Brett's
sing-
voice is Brett's voice, and Chris's
Yeah.
bass playing and his image is him, and Roxy's Roxy.
I think
Yeah.
I think our philosophy has not changed in the because when we go out on stage, we go out to kill, and even at our age, we're still outrageous. And I personally tamed down my outrageous behavior to maybe be a little more palatable for a modern audience. So maybe in that respect, the philosophy has changed. But
and what you forget is we're not playing every night a bunch of sets. We played so much that I could daydream about going shopping or something while I'm doing everything. You know,
Yeah,
the big
no,
high
right.
heels. We were just so conditioned at that time. And now, you know, we'd only do here and there shows, so we have to think. There's thinking involved. So
Right.
Yeah.
in my part, there's a lot of thinking, yeah.
Gotta remember all these damn words again, you know? It's like
Yeah. A zillion guitar notes and
I got a
backups
million
and
songs in my
everything.
head. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot to remember. And then we have our daily lives and we're a lot older. We have a lot of information in our storage unit in our brain.
Mm.
So it's a lot.
But yeah, as far as
But it's
Chris
still
is right,
fun.
our philosophy is playing on stage together and putting it out there is just to kill, you know, and
Yeah, we just want to be
Madam
great.
X,
Yeah.
you know, bigger, the biggest, the baddest, you know, that's the way it is. You know, we go out there with a vengeance. So.
I think we just go out to do the best job that we can. Even in the studio, though, our philosophy with Rick originally on this record was we didn't know shit from Shinola. We didn't know anything.
Right.
So we were under their guidance that this is, this take is the take. Let's move on. We're gonna, we'll do this. Now, sadly, we will take one song and re-record it 100 times until it's beat to death. Like, we think it's better, but honestly, the original first take was probably the best take because it had that all that fun energy that you end up trying to get back 40 takes later. Is like, Jesus Christ, the first take was amazing. What the heck was I thinking? All we did is waste time and money and didn't get that extra juice from the squeeze.
Yeah. So we have a question from Johnny Lynn, who wonders if you will tour for the new album.
Oh, Johnny Lynn, Texas.
Absolutely. We want to see
We
Johnny
remember
Lynn in
those
Texas.
guys. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Johnny,
I bet they.
Johnny, I have something for you.
Oh no.
Hey,
Oh,
how
God.
come I can hear that? I can't hear my screams.
Right.
Because
Right.
it's not.
Because your head's hollow.
God. Yeah.
So we
Can't
have
do that when you're old.
Dirk Schneider has another question. This one is for you, Maxine. You have a very peculiar guitar tone on We Reserve the Right. It almost sounds like you're down-tuned. How is it achieved, and did you use the tone prior to the album?
And it was just old Marshalls, and we were only tuned about a quarter step under 440.
I remember being at
It's just
440.
very little. It was just a little bit, a quarter step. It wasn't half a step. It wasn't at 440, just about a quarter. Remember that? Just to
No,
take
I
the edge off.
Don't remember
Yeah.
that.
Well, we were a quarter step tuned down, and it was all Marshalls.
Yeah, but
I
you know
remember
what
you
we
guys.
did?
I remember
It's
you
what-
guys mic'd the tubes on the
Yes, exactly. The zizzer.
Yeah.
We called it,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
called it a zizzer. And
Yeah.
what happened-
Yeah.
I'll explain this real quick.
Sure.
We took our Marshall heads and they were sitting in an isolation booth, like a small vocal booth. And they covered those heads with packing blankets so that they heat up real hot. And then everybody else trying to cool their tubes down. Well, Rick wanted that tubes really hot. And then we took a condenser microphone and stuck it right next to the tubes, because as the head is playing, the tubes are going zzz, they're making their own little sound, right? Like little speakers. So we were incorporating, we called the zizzer, because it kind of had a zizzing sound to it, along with the cabinet off in another ISO booth, or maybe it was in the live room. I can't really remember. Blasting it,
live room.
On 11.
Yeah, you know it.
So that was incorporated in there. Yeah, but that's a great question. And
Yeah.
funny you could recognize it, bro.
Michael Smith is asking, any plans on having the albums reissued on vinyl LP and keep in production for a while?
We Reserve the Right record? I think we own We Reserve the Right record now, because so much time has gone by. It's reverted back to us as original artists. So yes, we will.
We could re-release it.
We will release it, and it will be out there in its.
Same with Monstrosity. We can do all these.
Yeah.
I think Michael will be pleased with that answer.
And you know what? And if we do that, we're going to incorporate some new little artworks and little bonus things. So it won't be just a repressing of the old record and a copy of the old artwork. There'll be some little gems included in that.
We have.
We're gonna add an extra song on it. Chris is gonna fart Tia Jello in G.
No. Oh my God. Oh, next question.
Ulf from Sweden asks, any shows in Sweden again soon?
Oh, we hope.
Wouldn't that be beautiful?
That would be great.
We just had received an offer for Time to Rock Festival, and that was July 25th. And I don't know where we're sitting with that, but yes, we love Sweden, and Sweden loves us. So
we really do.
We wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for Sweden at this point.
Right.
Yeah,
That first Sweden Rock from 2014.
Oh my.
Yeah, that was
Brett.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Remember when
story.
we were in the signing area after the show? The long line of people that wanted autographs. I'm just saying to Brett. Brett was sitting to my left. Remember that little piece of paper, like about this big? The girl handed to me, and I'm like, "You're looking at me like you're going to sign that." Remember that? She gave me a little piece of paper about an inch by an inch for me to put an autograph on. You remember that?
Yeah.
And you looked at me like,
the endearing.
I was like, "What are you doing?"
The endearing.
And I go, I didn't know where else. I go, where's everybody else going to sign it? You know.
The endearing side of that story is that she wanted to get in line and go through the meet and greet and needed something to sign, and that's all she could come up with.
But
so
all four of us had to be on this little piece of paper like this.
Likewise, we're in the meet and greet line, and this man puts this artwork in front of me that he drew when he was in 7th or 8th grade or early high school or
younger
of Godzilla. I still have it. It's amazing.
Oh, cool.
And I think his name is Henrik too. It's like, he goes, Godzilla, will you sign this? I'm like, he says, I drew this, in class when I was, and now it's 30 years later, and there's this
when
man.
He was high in high school?
Like,
I drew this in class when I was high in high school.
What's that?
He drew it when he was high in high school.
When I wasn't high in high school.
Oh, maybe. But I was thinking, like, okay, so I'm not the sharpest, I'm not the sharpest tool in the vagina, but I am the biggest.
Oh God.
No, there's a different story.
More questions.
But high in high school, I wrote that song, but I'm a bass player, right? And I'm a hack guitarist. So what happened was I was
here we go.
Sitting on the toilet.
Oh gosh. We can't hear that anyway.
Anyhow.
Can't hear it. Put it down.
I was playing it during sound check, this bam, 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 da, 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 da. And then I thought, well, those notes sing to me like, you're high, you're high in high school. And so we started at, I think it was Shepherd Air Force Base. Mm-hmm. We did that first kind of a rough version of that song for our sound check. Do you guys remember that? Ran through it a couple times. Later on that night, in front of 1,500, airmen, you're high in high school, and they went crazy. And we're going like, wow, we got a song, Yeah. And that's kind of how the writing went. We were just on the road coming up with riffs and songs, and nothing.
Yeah, if it works for the audience, it usually works for us, right?
Yeah, that's how we tested our stuff in front of a
like
live
B&E.
audience.
Remember, they loved B&E, and we never did that.
Yeah.
Oh well. All right, next question.
We have another from Dirk Schneider, a very active member of
the only guy on the phone.
He says,
cool.
Chris, thanks for all the riffs. Every song on We Reserve the Right is a banger. I gotta know if you saw Godzilla -1 yet, and what's your favorite Zilla movie?
Oh, I haven't seen the latest version. You know what? As a kid, I liked. They would play on TV after after school or on a Saturday afternoon.
4 o'clock
Godzilla
movie.
versus Mothra, and so I was always a big. God, I just love monsters. Creature from the Black Lagoon. I always liked the underdog, but I didn't name myself Godzilla. That was Brett that did that, and
because of your head banging.
I'd have a short fuse and being on the road for so long and so tired and so wore out.
You'd get rageous.
That something went wrong on stage for me one night.
Destroying shit, and I was like, dude, you're just like Godzilla.
Yeah.
Just wrecking everything.
Yeah.
So I had a meltdown and I broke a bunch of crap on stage. And Brett said, you were like Godzilla like a day later or two. You're like Godzilla going through Tokyo. And then the crew started to call me Godzilla. And then the band started to call me Godzilla. Then the press started to call me Godzilla.
Yeah.
And Godzilla ever since. But
I love
and
if you think, remember, like your hair, you're like what, 6'3", and your hair made
Yeah.
you like 6'7", and so you towered all over. You know, I'm like 5'2", Roxy's 5'3", Brett, what are you, 5'9"?
Yeah,
And
I'm
so
not
you were
gonna-
way up there.
Yeah, but then Blue Oyster Cult wrote a song about him. So what the heck?
No,
Yeah.
it had
Yeah.
nothing to do with me. But thanks for the
More
question.
cowbell.
I like
More
I
cowbell.
like all these little movies.
Hold on. Hello.
I think she got one here.
I really don't have a favorite.
We have one statement.
Yes.
Pretty cool. I have to do this because I have the chance. I have the power, if you can call it that. My partner is actually at work. He works in medical care. But
Cool.
he just jumped into the chat, one of your biggest fans, and he just wanted to say you were one of the coolest bands in the Swedish OK magazine.
Oh yeah, cool.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank you. I remember that
Very cool.
magazine.
me
You
too.
know, we get a
We had
lot
a big
of-
spread.
Yeah, I get a lot of people on Facebook, you know, on the Facebook Madam X site and our website and stuff. And it's just so cool that we connected with people like that, you know, because to be honest with you, when we first came there on 2014, somebody, I don't know if it was Johannes or somebody said, I don't think you guys realize how big you are out here.
We
goes,
didn't.
You must have sold 1 million CDs. And I'm like, what?
Oh yeah, what? Where is
What are you
it?
talking about? In 1984, when our record came out, there were no CDs.
Right.
No.
Though we did record in CD though. They said that was in the future, so we did record for CD.
We recorded analog tape on the 24 track, and then it was mixed to digital, which was a new step back then. And CDs were not even. It was cassette, LP, and cassette. That was it.
My question is, if we sold that many, where the heck's our money?
Where's that royalty check?
I'll say David Arden has it.
Probably.
I don't know, you guys. I
in
get
England.
I'm BMI, and I get my check every quarter, so I don't know what you have to dot the I's and cross the T's or something. Go in your.
I crossed
We
my
can discuss
T's.
this separately, but
Yeah,
I get
this is not the place. Next.
But anyway, what
Next
I was
question.
getting at, I was getting at was we're very, very thankful that Sweden took us in and treated us so well. I mean, I'd never seen a place. There was no hate in anybody's eyes. Everybody loved everybody, and it was such a good feeling when we were there.
Well, I remember, that first show we did in 2014.
Yeah.
Because we haven't done shows for so many years, so I was nervous, and Roxy knew I was nervous. She said to me, she goes, "Don't be nervous. It's probably only 200 people out in the front. It'll be like doing a gig at a bar." She said, "Don't be nervous." And we couldn't see what was going on in the front. Remember, the fences were real high.
Yeah, the dressing room was like 100 yards from the stage.
Yeah, and then as soon as we hit the stage, and there was I don't know, 16 to 20,000 people. Yeah. I looked at her. I gave her a dirty look. You lie.
I remember.
Like, oh, no.
Yeah, I remember that we had to take golf carts to the stage, and as we were getting closer, you could hear. It was getting closer. I'm like, what the? And you could just barely see through the stage, and it was like a sea of people, man.
Yeah, that was awesome. And then when
I was the last one I was the last one out of the dressing room.
Yeah.
As I'm approaching the stage, like I can hear what sounds like a lot of people. And then I'm walking, the stage is about 12 feet tall, and I'm walking up the ramps to the back of the stage. And as I get to the stage level through the canopy, the roof system and the amp line, all I see is people. I'm like, holy shit.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Prior to that, we're doing sound check at 10 a.m. and there's this huge area. And
was nothing. Nobody was there.
And about 30 zombies walking around like, left over from the night before.
It was the last day of the festival.
Black Sabbath closed the festival the night before. So they were the last band on, and people are just, at 10 a.m., people are not even waking up yet. So there's a couple of zombies. I'm going like, I expect maybe 1,500 people. It's what I expect in front of our stage. We're going on.
Roxy said 200.
Noon, it's very early, so we're doing sound check, and then I went back to the dressing room, and I was the band, like we got to go on. And I'm always the last one. I don't know why, but I'm just the last one. So I'm the last one up this ramp, and I'm going like, holy shit, there's a lot of people. And I think it was Anders Tegner was bringing us on. I believe that's correct. And I grabbed my bass like, let's do this fucker, you know, like, holy talk about adrenaline.
Well, then again, and then when we did the second Sweden Rock in 2018, I wasn't nervous like before, but I was scared. And I go, what if they didn't really care about us? What if they don't like us anymore? So I was scared that we'd lose what we had in 2014. But it turned out to be a huge crowd. I was just scared they weren't going to be there. I thought, like, they're over it. They won't care. And this time it really will be just a couple hundred people. So,
it was
but
kick-ass again.
They were both two kick-ass shows,
amazing,
right?
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I look forward to the day we can go back and play.
Yeah.
Sweden is awesome. It's our favorite. Mm-hmm.
Well, let's finish this off with a question from a Swedish guy who you know very well. His name is Chris Laney.
Oh yeah.
And he wonders,
he's the man. Hey, Chris.
He wonders, are you about to rock?
We are.
Yes, we are.
About to rock.
Always about to rock.
Yeah, our song.
Yeah.
This is awesome. Mm-hmm. Thank you guys for taking the time to talk to us today. It's been amazing to hear these stories about the album and where it came from and getting to know you a bit better. And I'm really looking forward to seeing you back at Sweden Rock or Time to Rock Festival. And I think your fans are just as amazed as I am.
Thank you for what you do.
Yeah,
Paul.
thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I know
Paul.
Roxy feels the same way.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry she couldn't be with us today.
Yeah. Absolutely. I hope she gets well soon. And if
she is getting better. She's getting better.
That's great.
So, yeah.
And if any of our viewers missed the beginning or anything, this will stay up on the channel, so you can just check it out later today or tomorrow or next week, and we'll just share it on all the fan pages to make sure everyone can watch this and celebrate together with us.
Thank you.
Yay. Madam X loves you guys.
Madam X.
They love you right back.
Hope we see you soon.